They start their journey as tiny eggs, no bigger than a grain of rice, tucked away in freshwater hatcheries. Months later, they grow into sleek, powerful swimmers, thriving in massive ocean farms. But what really goes on behind the scenes of salmon farming? How do these fish transform from delicate fry to the rich, flavorful fillets on your plate? There's a fascinating process that most people never get to see, one filled with science, precision, and even controversy. Stay with us as we uncover the secrets of salmon farming, from their first days in freshwater to their final moments before harvest. 1. The birth of a salmon, from tiny eggs to strong swimmers. A salmon's journey begins in the most fragile form, a tiny orange egg no bigger than a bead. These eggs are carefully kept in freshwater hatcheries, where farmers control the water temperature and oxygen levels to create the perfect environment. But even under close watch, not all eggs survive. Some turn white and die, while others develop little black dots, eyes forming inside. After a few weeks, the eggs hatch into 11s, tiny fish with big yolk sacs attached to their bellies. These sacs are their food supply, helping them grow strong without needing to swim or hunt. At this stage, they stay hidden in the gravel, away from predators. But once the yolk is gone, the real challenge begins. Now called fried, they start searching for food. Farmers provide them with special diets filled with nutrients to help them grow fast. Some fry grow faster than others, and in nature, the bigger ones often bully the smaller ones. But in farms, every salmon gets a chance to grow strong and healthy. Not all fry will make it to the next stage. Only the strongest, healthiest fish are selected to continue their journey. It's a tough start to life, but for those that survive, bigger challenges and bigger waters await. 2. Growing up. The transition from freshwater to saltwater. As salmon grow, their bodies start preparing for a major transformation, one that will decide their future. In the wild, salmon are born in freshwater rivers, but as they grow, they must travel to the salty ocean to continue their journey. Farm salmon go through the same process, but with a little help from farmers. At around 6 to 18 months old, these young fish go through smoltification, a big word for a simple idea. Their bodies start changing to handle salt water. Their silver scales grow shinier, their gills adapt, and their instincts tell them it's time to leave freshwater behind. But this is a risky stage. If they're moved too early or too late, they won't survive the change. To make sure they're ready, farmers slowly introduce salt into the water, helping the fish adjust bit by bit. They'd also change the feeding schedule and even use special lighting to mimic natural seasons. Every small detail matters. If the transition isn't perfect, the fish could get sick, or worse, not survive at all. Once the smolts pass all the tests, it's time for the biggest step yet. They're packed carefully and transported to massive floating pens in the ocean, where they'll spend the next year growing to full size. Their freshwater days are over, and a whole new chapter begins in the open sea. 3. Life in the ocean farms, the science behind giant floating pens. Once salmon reach the ocean farms, their real growth begins. These farms are like underwater cities, huge floating pens, some as big as a football field, holding thousands of salmon. But don't think of them as simple cages. These pens are high-tech, designed to keep the fish safe, healthy, and growing fast. Inside these pens, salmon live in conditions carefully controlled by farmers. The water is constantly monitored for oxygen levels, temperature, and cleanliness. Too hot, the fish get stressed. Too little oxygen, they won't grow properly. That's why farms use underwater sensors to check everything in real time. Some even have AI systems that track each fish's growth, and health. Feeding time is no simple task. Salmon are given a high-protein diet made of fish meal, plant ingredients, and essential nutrients. But overfeeding can pollute the ocean, and underfeeding can slow growth. So many farms now use automated feeders that release just the right amount of food. Some even have cameras that detect when the fish are full, so not a single pellet is wasted. Of course, farming in the open ocean comes with dangers. Wild predators like seals and sea lions try to break into the pens for an easy meal. That's why farms use protective nets and even underwater sound barriers to keep them away without harming them. Disease is another challenge. Since thousands of fish live together, infections can spread quickly. To prevent this, some farms use cleaner fish, like tiny wrasse, that eat parasites off the salmon's skin. Others use deep-sea farming, where stronger currents keep the water clean. 4. The controversy. Environmental impact and sustainability challenges. Salmon farming feeds millions, but it comes with a cost. Some say these farms are damaging the oceans, polluting the water, and threatening wild salmon. Others believe they are the future of sustainable seafood. So, what's the truth? One big issue is pollution. Thousands of fish in one space produce waste that sinks to the ocean floor, affecting marine life. Uneaten food also adds to the problem. To fix this, some farms are using high-tech waste management, while others move their pens to deeper waters where stronger currents clean the area naturally. Another concern? Escaped salmon. If farmed salmon break out, they mix with wild salmon, weakening the gene pool. Since farmed fish are bred for size, not survival, they might not be strong enough to live in the wild. That's why modern farms use stronger nets and even sterile salmon that can't reproduce. Then there's disease and antibiotics. In the past, farmers used antibiotics to stop infections, but this led to concerns about antibiotic resistance. Now, many farms use vaccines, cleaner fish, and AI-powered monitoring to keep fish healthy. The industry is evolving, but challenges remain. The big question: can salmon farming ever be 100% sustainable? The answer may shape the future of seafood. 5. Harvesting the salmon from farm to fillet. After 12 to 18 months in the ocean, the salmon are finally ready. They've grown from tiny eggs into strong, healthy fish, but their journey isn't over yet. Now comes one of the most important steps: harvesting. The way salmon are harvested affects not only their quality, but also how fresh they taste when they reach your plate. The process is designed to be as quick and humane as possible. Workers use special nets that gently guide the fish into a contained area. This reduces stress, which is important because stress can affect the quality of the meat. The goal is to keep the fish calm and avoid unnecessary suffering. Once out of the water, the fish are immediately placed in ice-cold water to slow their metabolism and preserve freshness. Some high-end farms use advanced stunning methods to ensure the fish are unconscious before processing, making the process as ethical as possible. The salmon are then quickly processed, filleted, packed, and flash frozen or chilled. Speed is key. The faster the fish are processed, the fresher they'll taste. Some salmon go straight to restaurants, while others are smoked, canned, or turned into sushi-grade fillets. 6. The future of salmon farming. Innovations changing the industry. Salmon farming has come a long way, but the industry is still evolving. With growing demand for seafood and rising environmental concerns, new technologies are shaping the future. The goal? Produce more salmon with less impact on the planet. One of the biggest innovations is land-based salmon farming. Instead of raising fish in the ocean, companies are now using massive indoor tanks where every drop of water is filtered and reused. This means no waste polluting the ocean, no risk of fish escaping, and total control over water quality. Some farms are already producing thousands of tons of salmon without ever touching the sea. Technology is also changing how salmon are raised. AI and underwater cameras now track every fish, monitoring their health and adjusting their food intake. This prevents waste, keeps the fish healthier, and makes farming more efficient. Some companies are even working on lab-grown salmon. Using real salmon cells, they're creating fish fillets without farming at all. It's still in early stages, but it could be a game changer in the future. Salmon farming is evolving fast, and the future looks exciting. What do you think? Can it ever be 100% sustainable? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of food and farming. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.